We're going to recap Nationals today, Adam.
Do we have to relive it so soon?
It's showtime. This is The Ski Show, the ultimate show ski podcast, and your one and only source for all things show skiing, bringing you news, knowledge, and interviews with the legends and stars of our sport. Here are your hosts, Matt Heilman and Adam Schaller.
Welcome to The Ski Show. We aren't just a podcast dedicated to show skiing. We are literally still the only form of media on the planet dedicated to the sport of show skiing. We have a jam-packed episode today as we recap all the action from D2 Nationals, D1 Nationals, the Buck Up Final, and we talk to the newest Willa Cook and Skip Gilkerson winners.
Today's sponsor is Flyman Skis, makers of the fully customizable featherboard swivel ski. The most affordable composite swivel ski on the market can be yours at flymanskis.com.
All right, so I want to start today with a little update on Pete Hegarty. I know the show ski world, if you've been anywhere, you know that Pete suffered an accident in the freestyle jump competition at Division I Nationals. This is the elite skier in our sport. If you witnessed it, it was a terrible accident. He fell before the ramp, hit his head on the ramp. Kudos to the first responders who were on scene taking care of Pete. He, as of this moment, so I'm going to, as of this recording, I had the opportunity with a handful of other people to be on a Zoom with Pete today. And he's recovering quite well. He had a traumatic brain injury, which is going to be a long road to recovery. That's a really bad concussion plus. It's essentially he got in a bad car accident was how bad this was. He was cutting hard at a back half and fell and hit his head on the ramp. And so he's still in Warsaw as we speak, or actually in Fort Wayne, just outside of Warsaw. He went to Fort Wayne. He's been getting care there. After kind of the first 4 or 5 days, we started to see some real positive signs in his recovery. When someone has a traumatic brain injury, it can be really a long road in terms of motor skills, speech, all of that, just taking time to come back, short-term memory, all of those things. He is already, as you would expect with Pete Hegarty, right, exceeded doctors' expectations. The doctor was in yesterday and said he's doing great. When he goes back to Maine, they were initially looking at inpatient rehabilitation, and there's a chance, depending on how the next few days go, that he could actually do outpatient care and rehab. He'll have some neurological rehab and things of that nature, but a terrible accident injury that so many of us witnessed. Thoughts and prayers out to Pete and his family as we wish him the best recovery, the strongest. We hope you come back better than ever, Pete. And we want you all to know that we're with you and we're cheering you on and we're here for you for anything.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Get well soon, buddy.
Yep. We're here for you, bud. So great to see some good news on that front and his recovery, and hope that trend continues. And we'll see you back here soon, Pete. So a couple other things we're going to, before we dive into our results, we're going to chat about a few things. I want to mention the award show. It's getting, believe it or not, as we wrap up our season, the podcast awards committee is working. They're now sifting through tons of nominees and all the tournament results and all the shows everybody watched. A lot of our committee was at a bunch of tournaments. If they weren't at the tournament, they were watching on the webcast where they were able, and they're sifting through and having conversations about all of our 32 awards. That's happening now. And so there's a public nomination form that's out there on our Facebook page. If you want to nominate someone, at least put them on our radar for the committee to chat about. That would be great. This fall, the committee is going to be having multiple Zoom sessions to ultimately, they're going to vote on the top 5 nominees in each category. We're going to come up with those top 5 nominees, announce those later this fall, and then we've got our award show at Think Tank in March. where we're going to give away live all 32 award winners. So looking forward to that. So that's happening hot and heavy, and we need your video. We need horizontal video. We just made a post today on that. Rather than vertical, it's a lot easier for us to edit and splice things together. If it's all horizontal, it looks better on our big screens at our production in our award show. So that's heating up. Adam, before we dive into the results, let's just talk about kind of our general thoughts on tournament season on this year. It's like, we say at the beginning of the year, we're doing our tournament season preview. We're going to blink, and it's going to be nationals, and now it's done.
Yep.
Talk about this season.
Well, I think, things, we had the tournament season preview, and I think in most cases, a lot of things kind of played out as we thought, right? For the most part. I mean, we don't have a crystal ball, but it was an interesting season not having a Merc. It was a shortened season, right? Didn't have a Merc.
Right.
Nationals got moved to D1 Nationals got moved to Warsaw in Warsaw for the second year in a row. It was fun. There was a lot of great skiing, a lot of great themes. But just like you said, it was blink of an eye. Here we are talking about the award show in March.
Yeah, right. Like it's all of a sudden you're done, and there's a depression that goes with it. Like we all sort of it's a double-edged sword, right? We love what we do and we love the passion of it, and then all of a sudden reality hits and kids are back to school and life changes, and in some part, like I love fall. I like looking forward to that. Things slowing down a little bit, evenings at home, watching football, things of that nature, and we're going to miss it. Like ski season's done. We're not going to see our ski family as much, and so here we are. And so interesting tournament season, to say the least, with all the teams a bunch of teams off the water. Even those that were on the water were affected heavily by weather. It was a weird summer. It was a windy June. It was rainy. It was so even nights that we were on, there were storms. There were teams that were off the water for a long stretch of time. The Rock Aqua Jays, as you know, is kind of the most visible one, but so many other teams. River Rats and Web Footers and Beaver Dam and Ski Bronx and Backwater Gamblers, and they all had water issues. And so navigating through this tournament season and having nationals be as quality of a tournament as it was, thanks to Lake City for jumping in to host that. It seems that most everybody's back on the water, enjoying their end-of-season shows. But tournament season was an interesting one because of that. No Mercury invite, that was canceled. You go to state for our first big tournament. So here we are. Now we're recapping nationals.
Yeah, and to all those teams' credit, right, that were off the water, if you didn't know they were off the water and you went to state or nationals, I don't really know that you'd be able to say, oh, that was the team that was off the water. I think everybody's, given the circumstances, I think everybody skied really well.
I agree, and I think people put together whatever they did in their time off seemed to work for a lot of people. To your point, they had, if you showed up as a fan and just watched, you may never know, and that's credit to all those teams. So that was well done. So let's start, Adam, with our results from D2 Nationals. Let's dive in here.
All right, results from D2 Nationals. Open swivel, Ava Schlichting was the winner. 360 swivel, Shay Landsverk. 180 swivel, Lydia Schumacher. Open doubles, Allie Sinitz and Jonathan Moore. Freestyle jump champion with Nathan Fedorowicz.
Yeah, those guys, wholly young talent, right?
Right.
And we're going to talk about some of this as we get into our award show. The committee's already talking about it, but Nathan and Logan Fedorowicz, brothers, they took first and third at D2 Freestyle. Dallas Hovda, young guy. Nathan and Logan are 16 years old. Dallas Hovda's 14, and the stuff these guys are doing, one ski flips, and they're crushing it. So kudos to them.
Team jump was just one team. Shawano Ski Sharks, so walked away with that one. Solo pairs 360. Morgan McGrath and Angelina Olsen. Intermediate strap doubles, Mackenzie Moeller and Justin Baird. Intermediate freestyle jump, Max Schlichting. And women's freestyle jump with a heli and a two-ski flip was Lexi Africa.
Yep, she's another one of those, women tearing it up on the jump ramp. We talk about this over and over. The Team USA practice, Adam. That's not in our script today to talk about, but talking about Lexi, she's a two-ski flip girl, rock solid. The 4 girls on Team USA went out and made a quad front flip, all girls. Sarah Fedorowicz, Josie Smirchek, Bailey Hyatt, Gabby Tash were quad front, unbelievable. Sarah and Josie did a double one-ski flip. The women's freestyle's out of this world.
Yeah, it's
so
awesome.
good. In the team event, best male skier at D2 Nationals was Ben Walker from the Ski Sprites. Best female, Faith Dix, aqua skiers. Both of these guys had phenomenal seasons. Best barefoot act was also the highest scoring act of the tournament. The aqua skiers did a 2-boat, 4 circles each. Mark Hofferman went forward 4 circles. Faith Dix went backward 4 circles. She fell just before the end of the 4th circle, but basically made 3 3/4 laps. Highest scoring act of the tournament at D2. Best ballet and best pyramid were both won by Shawano Ski Sharks. Best doubles and best swivel were won by Badgerland. And the best jump act was Silver Lake.
Nice to see a lot of those spread out. I mean, that's really cool. Yeah. Box scores, traditional box scores, dock and equipment, sound crew, production, and showmanship all went to Badgerland. Pick a boat went to Ski Sprites, and towboat driving went to Shawano. And first place of the D2 Nationals this year was Badgerland, 23 points over Shawano. And then there was 5 Seasons and the Aqua Skiers.
Yeah, great competition there. Badgerland, big season, right? They won D2 Wisconsin State. They win D2 Nationals. We've chatted with their show directors. We talked in our tournament season preview. They wanted to get back to D1.
Yeah.
That's where they hope to be now, to stay back in D1 Wisconsin State, back at D1 Nationals if they qualify. Great season for them. Shawano Ski Sharks, afraid to tell you, Shawano, you're not a small team anymore. You can compete with the big dogs, and what a season for them. Great show at state and at D2 Nationals. They're putting out big stuff. Watching their social media, they're doing personal bests in terms of sizes of pyramids and ballet lines. They, quite honestly, and we talked about this last episode, if they competed in Wisconsin State in D1, they'd be right in the middle of the mix in D1. So Shawano's doing great. And those 2 teams really kind of stood out among the group, head and shoulders kind of above the rest. Great D2 National. Great to see the interest, the number of teams, the number of individual competitors, phenomenal amount of participation, and that is great.
How many teams were there? 11?
Yeah, there were 11 or 12 at D2.
That's great.
Yeah. And there were almost 80 individual competitors total there at D2 in all those events. So the interest is there. It's high. The proximity to northern Wisconsin helps. So that's a real thing. We don't want to hide from that and make it sound like D2 Nationals is forever going to be full. It's often a result of where it is and proximity to where other teams are. And I'll be curious to see how that shakes out next year when D2 is in Winter Haven, Florida.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there won't be 12 teams and 80 individuals, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Yep. So before we recap D1 Nationals and then the Buck Up Final, let's chat about the featherboard swivel ski from Flyman Skis. They combine the stability and easy pulls with a revolutionary board designed for effortless performance. This versatile board comes in 3 sizes, so you can build the board that is right for you.
Yeah, and it features a continuous rocker throughout the length of the ski. The featherboard is easy to control on the water for learning new tricks, polishing up old tricks. Choose from one of the 5 signature graphic options, or you can design your own.
That's right. These skis also have patent pending construction. They have threaded inserts for your bindings, so there's no more rotted out holes or spun screws. These skis are high performing and they're absolutely gorgeous. Get your featherboard swivel ski today at flymanskis.com. That's flymanskis.com. All right, on to D1 Nationals, Adam. Let's talk individuals first. Awesome lineup of individuals, just like at D2. Swivel pairs, Bria Imsey and Paige Pashina literally stomped everybody. They are so good together.
Yeah.
It was,
So
they're fun to watch. And then I had a chance, at Team USA practice, we had a little downtime at the very end of the last day, and people could go out and do what they want. They wanted to go out and take a pairs run together. And they went out and did like 6 spins simultaneously together. It was unbelievable. They're in sync and they're doing great. So kudos to Bria and Paige. Open swivel, what a competition. We said this last year. We knew this leading up this year.
It was better than expected.
Yes,
better than expected.
The top 9 girls were unbelievable, and their scores were there. Congratulations to Caroline Grubbs, first place national swivel champion. Amazing competition. She took first place over second place Maddie Hageman, third place Bria Imsey, fourth place Allie Crumry, fifth place Paige Pashina, sixth place Darian LeBlanc, seventh place Grace Petzold, eighth place Josie Smirchek, ninth place Faith Pasale. Like, as I go through that list, I mean, in a competition where Darian is 6th and Grace is 7th and Josie's 8th, like, holy talent.
Right. Yep.
Unreal.
Just stacked.
Yep. So congratulations to all of them. And I should mention, with these individuals, this is a world's qualifying year. And so these competitors, the top finishers, are going to have a chance to compete in individuals at the World Tournament in March. Open doubles, after being supplanted last year by Ryan Hoops and Sarah Yost, back on top in first place, Corey Krivitz and Kim Stoner. Well done. They looked great. The top 4 doubles couples were really close. Actually, Ryan Hoops and Sarah Yost ended up taking third. They were awesome. I was actually surprised to see them in third. Second place was Zeke Teat and Michaela Baisley. Fourth place was Dalton Myers and Lily Roman. There's a couple of young doubles couples, up-and-coming doubles couples, pushing these old greats, that these veterans who have been on top for so long, and that top 4 in doubles was really good. Team jump, Little Crow took first place. They edged out Shermalot and last year's champion Catfish Bay. Congrats to Little Crow. Freestyle jump, we mentioned Pete Hegarty at the outset. Yes, he suffered an injury. That was on his 3rd jump. He won the National Freestyle Jump Championship. Back half, front half, dominated. That's what Pete does. If he makes his back half and front half right now, he's untouchable. Second place was Cale Duquesne, who took second. Liam Klotzbach took third. And we're going to talk about those guys when we get to our Buck Up recap as well. Women's freestyle. Bailey Hyatt took the victory. She beat Josie Smirchek and Sarah Fedorowicz. Bailey took the win. They all landed 1 ski flips. Bailey's was the cleanest. Bailey also sent a pretty big 2 ski flip. Like, it was nice. She went for it, and that was really well done. Josie also did similar tricks: 1 ski flip, 2 ski flip. Sarah did a 2 ski gainer and a 1 ski flip, made them both. But Sarah ended up 3rd place. The way the scores shook out, a little surprising, I think, to those that were watching. But if you looked at it and broke it down and understood how they score freestyle jump, the distance that Bailey went on her jumps really helped her, and the clean landings. And so congrats to Bailey. Well done, Josie, Sarah, and all the other women's freestyle competitors.
All right. Also, we had Willa Cook, Kailey Koehler.
Yeah.
Skip Gilkerson, Kevin Bruckner from the River Rats. Highest scoring barefoot act and the highest scoring act of the tournament was the 6 barefoot pyramids by Little Crow, 466 points. I mean, watching that act, it was almost perfect. I mean,
And at Warsaw,
everything
not a lot of
about it
setup.
was- right.
It's short.
Right. You are out of the water and you are stepping.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yep.
Best ballet, best pyramid went to the Rock Aqua Jays. Best doubles went to the Aqua Nuts. Best swivel went to Wonder Lake. And best jump act went to Mad City.
Yep. In the box scores, dock and equipment, towboat driving, and production all went to the Rock Aqua Jays. Best pickup boat and best showmanship went to Wonder Lake. And best sound crew went to Mad City. Congrats to you, Adam, and Jackie, and the rest of the sound and stage crew on that one.
That was all Jackie.
Yeah, she's awesome. She did great. All right, on to the team scores. So first place, as you all know, was the Rock Aqua Jays. They scored 1,831 points. They edged out Mad City by less than 10 points, just under 10 points total. Mad City was second place. Third place was Wonder Lake. Fourth place, the Aquanuts. And fifth place was Lake City. That was your top five at D1 Nationals. I think, you have strong finishes there from, as I look at it, you got 2 Central Region teams, 3 Wisconsin Region teams. The Midwest Region teams did really well. They represented really well. The River Rats and Ski Otters were 6th and 7th place. Little Crow was just behind. They all did really well. I think the Rats probably didn't perform as well as they would have liked. I'm sure that they would have liked to perform better. I know they were kind of gunning for a top 3, but they didn't quite have the show that they wanted. Great production, good stuff. Donnie Phillips is great on stage, and it's fun to watch. Yeah, that's your D1 Nationals, Adam.
Yep. That's D1 Nationals. It was, we didn't ski our best. That's for sure. I didn't walk away from that show feeling like it was a great show, and it wasn't. But it's,
when I watched ours back, it wasn't. There were too many hiccups, right? And it wasn't as good as our state show. So state, we won by 50. This show wasn't as good. It was interesting getting the scores. So as you know, I study scores, and it's if you had told me going in that we would score higher in the skiing total than the Rock Aqua Jays, I would have told you we would have won. I would have assumed we would have won because we typically thrive in the box scores even more than we do in the skiing. We tend to do really well in towboat driving and production and showmanship and sound and pickup. All of those things have been super strengths of ours the last several years. And so if you were to tell me you're going to ski better than the Rock Aqua Jays, I would have said, wow, we got a great chance to win. And it proved to be just the opposite of state. We ended up skiing better. They ended up outscoring us in the box scores, which was surprising to us because we typically thrive in the box scores.
Yep. You know what? Is what it is.
Yep.
Next time.
Yeah, and huge congratulations to the Rock Aqua Jays. As you mentioned at the outset, like
they didn't ski
having
all year.
the season that they had, and then to pull that together, they were essentially playing with house money. No pressure. The no expectations for them because of the limited amount of water time that they had, and to pull off that performance is a super credit to them. Credit to their show directors, Ian and Jason, and all the crew there, all the veterans there for helping pull that together. Really well done by the Rock Aqua Jays.
Yep, and credit to their stage crew too, because I think they went back and watched their state show and was like, we need to make some adjustments, and they did. So,
they fixed a few things, and I Wonder Lake, as we said in our preview, and after talking about Central Regionals, they're going to be a contender, and they were. They ended up actually, as we talk about scores, Wonder Lake scored the highest in the skiing portion. They outscored us and the Rock Aqua Jays in the skiing portion. They were a little behind in the box scores, and a solid third place for Wonder Lake, which was really good. After last year, I think they were 6th. To bounce back and be 3rd was really good. Yep. Let's chat a little bit now about Buck Up. So the Buck Up finale happened last weekend. They had a season-long tour, several stops. Their finale is the finalists that get to compete are the top point earners throughout the season. And so they had the men's division and the women's division. And no Pete, obviously. He would have qualified and been at the finals. And so the Buck Up finals was without Pete Hegarty. And it came down to a really good kind of a final matchup, and really interesting the way it evolved. But Liam Klotzbach ended up winning first place over Cale Duquesne. And third place was Logan Fedorowicz. And so we mentioned Nathan took first at D2 Nationals. Logan took third at the Buck Up. And he's sending, both of these boys are sending one ski front flips over the ball and getting the bonus. They're sending them huge, 70, 75, almost 80 feet on their one ski flips. So young guys coming after it. But the men's final was interesting because Cale did a one ski mob and a one ski gainer. And Liam did his signature one ski front and a one ski gainer. And with Buck Up, you get a bonus. If you hit the first buoy, you get a bigger bonus. If you hit the second buoy, 40% bonus. And Liam went over the ball, the bird ball, the second buoy, both jumps, and got a huge bonus. And so while Cale had a higher degree of difficulty, particularly with the one ski mob, when the points shook out, Liam just edged him out for first place. And that's what makes the Buck Up interesting. That distance versus DOD is a cat and mouse game. Now, Cale didn't do his back half in the finals, but he did really awesome mob and a one ski gainer. But Liam's bonuses on his distance on those were awesome.
Congratulations.
Yep. So great Buck Up final. The women's side, Sarah Fedorowicz was amazing. She is making two ski gainers, one ski flips, and one ski gainers. She is head and shoulders right now above the rest, and the women's freestyle is on the rise, and she is crushing it. And so Sarah, I think we're going to probably hear her name a lot over the coming months as we talk about some of our podcast awards. I'm guessing her name comes up in a few categories.
Yeah, probably.
But the women's dough up was a great event. The finals in Chautauqua. Congrats to Derek and Carter Buckman for another successful season of the Buck Up Freestyle Pro Tour. All right, time to hear from our Willa Cook Award winner. You know this young woman very well. She's a mainstay on Team USA. She's won the Willa Cook Award before, this time becoming the first ever to win it 3 times. Let's welcome to the show Kailey Koehler. What's up, KK? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
You back in that classroom prepping for school?
I was going to say, your house just looks like a school.
Yeah, back to reality.
Yikes. Yeah.
All right, Kailey, you've won Willa 3 times. So I have to ask, were you surprised to win, or are you just like, yeah, old hat, of course I'm going to win it?
No, I was definitely surprised. I mean, the girls right now are absolutely throwing down. There is so much talent out there. So I was definitely shocked, to say the least.
Yeah, and Adam and I talked on the front end of this episode as we recapped D2 and D1 Nationals about a lot of the talent that's out there. Lots of girl talent. After you won 2, you know the sport well enough. You probably knew that nobody's won it 3 times. Has this been a goal of yours? Like, would it be fun to be the first to win it 3 times?
I mean, yeah, sure. That's like always kind of something in the back of your mind. But like, to be honest, I never really go into the competition like aiming for an award of any type, whether that be a barefoot act or a swivel act or the Willa. I just go into a tournament thinking, hey, I'm going to ski my best, ski my show. And then whatever happens at the end of the day is what happens. But super, super cool, super excited.
That's awesome. I mean, you're such great friends with Bria, it had to be great to beat her to the punch to be the first to win 3 before her.
Hey, if it was her, I would have been just as excited.
Of course you would have. Yes, I know. You guys are standing together on stage as they're announcing that, and we were watching you guys, and the way it was announced, we knew it was going to be you. Or actually, at first we knew it was going to be one of the two of you when they said 3 times, and so it was great.
Well, they started talking about a career, and Bria works in hospice. Her career is just as rewarding as mine. So we're still standing up there like, okay, it's one of us, but which one?
That's awesome. Kailey, for our listeners that maybe weren't watching or maybe just not keeping track, how many acts are you in your show?
I ski in 9 acts in the Aquanet show.
Wow. Now, just for the layman like me, there's only 13 acts in a ski show. So 9? Jeez.
Yeah, not much of a break time.
No, and
I do a lot of running.
And for you, and I mentioned this to you too, like what's so impressive about you is how you've expanded your skill in multiple disciplines. So you barefoot, and everybody knows that, and you're awesome at barefoot circles. You're awesome at all the barefoot tricks you do. But jumping, swiveling, doubles, pyramids, like you've expanded your repertoire and what you're able to do within a show because of the hard work that you've put in. And so that's cool to see. Talk a little bit about kind of those multiple disciplines that you do.
Yeah, I think, like you said, with the girls throwing down, it's super important nowadays, especially to just be well-versed and well-rounded. And kind of that's something that I encourage a lot of the young girls that I teach is to not just hone in on one specific skill. It's to try jumping, to try barefooting, to find a doubles partner. I think it adds a little spice to the show. I'd be kind of bored if all I did was barefooting. If that was the case, I'd still be a competitive barefooter. The reason why I kind of dove more into the show ski world is because it's nice to have a little bit of variety and to switch things up and do something new and not just kind of do the same thing over and over again. So
let me ask, how old are you?
Ooh, I don't know if I
you
should
can
answer
say
that. I'm 28.
You're 28. Okay, so I want to talk about swivel in particular because to the naked eye, we've watched your swivel expand over the last, let's call it 3 or 4 years. Your swivel skills gotten so much better. Has that been the work you put in? And where I'm going is like young people, sometimes they think that they've got to be great at 14, 15, 16, 17. And swivel was something for you where you've become so much more proficient at it in your mid-20s, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, swivel and jump have been kind of my 2 focus points these last couple years. And they're both something that has not come naturally to me. Jumping especially, I don't have that air sense. I don't have that awareness, but it's something I've really had to work hard towards, and I've been very lucky to have really close friends who those are their specialties, and they've really helped me out along the way. But I focused a lot of my early skiing years on my barefooting, and now that's kind of taken a little bit more of a back seat, and I've really been able to get a lot of swivel time in, a lot of jump time in, and that's been a lot more recent for me.
What discipline do you think you spend the most time on now?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I swivel and jump a lot, like multiple times a day. I try to.
Very cool. Now we mentioned you're in 9 acts in your show. How many of those, how many of those are back to back? Like, how many acts do you do in a row in a show?
At least 4 back-to-back acts, I think is my biggest stretch. I go from ballet or pyramid to, no. Yeah, it's like from a swivel act to a big act to a barefoot act to a ballet. So 4 in a row.
Running.
Now, Matt, I would imagine as a show director, when you have somebody like Kailey that you want to utilize in a lot of acts, it becomes somewhat of a challenge when you're putting together an act order, considering where she ends up and where she needs to be for 4 acts in a row.
Yeah, 100%. Like, what end of the course does she end up on? Can she make it to this dock? What kind of filler do we need for her to put on a barefoot suit? Like, all the things that go into it. your mental prep for that show is probably immense.
Yeah, I layer a lot of costumes.
Yeah. You got to.
And there's nothing worse than layering costumes under a barefoot suit.
I bet. Well, that Aquanaut show, so, like, congrats to you guys. Again, a smaller team this year. And the way you guys utilize your talent is immense. You have this small but clean and skilled show. Talk about that a little bit, because you were one of a committee of show directors this year, and how you guys really utilize that individual talent.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of thrown into show directing a little bit later than usual, but luckily we had a group of 8 who stepped up. And we worked really, really well together. We're very lucky that, we were friends first, and then we moved into that show directing role, and we were able to really maintain that communication throughout the whole season. And certainly there were ups and downs and decisions you like, decisions you don't like, but we really did work together to put on, as fast and as clean of a show as possible. We have a lot of young skiers on our team, which is awesome for our future, but it's tough in our growing pains. But we certainly learned, how to use everyone to the best of our ability, and we had a lot of new people in new spots, and they proved themselves, and we're excited to see kind of how that carries on into the future. And it was a lot to prep, and there's a lot of work that puts into those last minute changes of how you can fit certain people into certain places to make sure the flow stays fast and smooth, but we were able to figure that out, and I'm really proud of our team. They worked really, really hard this year.
Nice. Well, Nationals is over. You won Willa Cook 3 times. We're kind of winding down our season. A couple weeks left. I would imagine you guys have a couple shows left. And then after the Team USA practice, that was immediately following Nationals. You got to be pretty excited going into Worlds after seeing what Team USA can do, especially on the female side, right?
Yeah. I mean, those 2 days of practice, it's crazy to switch gears from just a fun and wild Nationals weekend to just straight into Team USA. We're up at 7 a.m. and on the dock, ready to go. But it is incredible to be surrounded by 40 of the best water skiers in the world, and it's just so fun to ski next to some of these girls and guys and just watch them throw down. And Worlds is going to be here before we know it. I mean, summer went by in a blink of an eye, and holy cow, March is going to be here sooner than we think.
Sure is. Well, we're lucky to be your teammate on Team USA. We love watching you. Congratulations to you on your 3rd Willa Cook. Thanks for being on the show today, Kailey.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You got
Thanks,
it.
Kailey.
Take care.
See ya.
The Skip Gilkerson Award, just like the Willa Cook Award, Adam, has a long legacy of insane talent in its fraternity. The best of the best have won this award, and this year's winner may be a little lesser known outside the Midwest region, but those of us who have watched the River Rat show, we know a standout skier when we see one, and we've seen this guy time and again thrive on the water. It's time to welcome to the show the newest Skip Gilkerson Award winner, Kevin Bruckner. Hey, Kevin.
Howdy, guys.
Welcome to the show. All right, Kevin, I got to ask, I mean, was it in the back of your mind going into Nationals that you could be a candidate for Skip? I mean, were you surprised to win?
Oh gosh. So literally as Dave was announcing, the Skip and so forth, I leaned over to Don Phillips, our show director and announcer, and said that this is one award that I've always wanted to get, and just one I didn't think I would ever get. And as soon as I finished that sentence, that's when Dave said my name, and it took me a second to realize what just happened.
That's amazing. That's
awesome.
amazing. Good for you. Like, it's something that you think about. Every top male skier is like hoping someday the card's got to fall right,
Oh, yeah.
And you never know. And there's great skiers who have never won it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, just amazing. Congratulations to you. Now, I think you skied in 9 acts. Is that correct?
It was 9 or 10 skiing acts.
Jesus.
Of our 12 total skiing, because the 13th was a
Score
comedy.
comedy.
Jeepers. That's insane. And true or false, you were nursing an injury, right? And I heard that you were not even sure if you were going to ski. Talk us through that.
So the Wednesday leading up to regionals, I felt a slight pinch in like my lower abdominal. And then we had team jump Friday, which just destroyed me. And then our show on Sunday just completely topped off. Well, I went to the doctor that Tuesday and found out I have a torn lower abdominal.
Oh.
So I basically nursed all the 2 weeks between regionals and nationals in expectation that nationals was going to be the last of it and put me over the top.
Wow.
So, yeah.
How are you doing now with the injury?
It was rough, but definitely glad I did it.
What? How are you doing now with the injury? What do you have, like? What do you do? Just nothing? Is that?
I haven't
that
really been doing much.
Okay.
I've been, like at this for our ski shows, I've just been, driving the pub or, riding in the boat as just a helper. So I have not been skiing anymore this year.
I mean, you use
which I
your
knew was going to happen after nationals. I was just going to kind of hang it up for the season.
in skiing, you literally use your core and abdominals for everything. Like you're a gainer guy, throwing a gainer, doing a dock start with a girl on your shoulders. Like that had to be painful.
Oh yeah, you should. So Maggie, who rides in our Malibu for jump, her facial expressions every time I landed said how I was feeling.
I can imagine.
Well, I think there's a trend here because we just talked to Kailey Koehler, the Willa Cook Award winner, and she skis in 9 of their 13 acts. I mean, so to our listeners, I mean, these winners this year are skiing a majority of the show, right? And now this year's Skip Gilkerson Award winner is driving the pickup boat. So he's, you're a talented guy.
When you got done with your show, Kevin, what were your thoughts on your show personally, on the River Rat show? Talk us through that, as you guys wrapped up your national show.
I thought our show wasn't, our best that we have done. We obviously had like the combo ballet line, didn't go well. A few of our other big acts, circle jump, that didn't go well at all. So it wasn't the best we've put out there, but it still was, in our minds, a decent show. Mm-hmm. Obviously entertaining by crowd standards. So the skiing could have been a little better, but everybody will say that at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on 6th place. I'm sure you guys were hoping for, top 5, top 3.
Yeah, we were hoping to knock on that 4th spot again. Show you guys in Wisconsin what we're all about, but it just wasn't quite in the cards this year.
Let's talk a little bit about your family. I mean, your sister is Ann Judd, who is a multiple-time national swivel champion and Team USA member, but she's never won Willa. I mean, talk about a ridiculously talented family. I mean, tell us a little bit about your family history in show skiing. Like, holy smokes!
Well, it all started with my dad. He grew up in Rockford, but never skied for the team in Rockford. He would summer up in northern Wisconsin and Rhinelander, and he would ski with the Hodags. And then he judged state for I don't know how many years. So he was doing that. My mom was just a kind of a fun slalom skier, none competitive of any sort. And then the Nemecks are actually on my lake here. We grew up with them, and they've kind of got us into the show skiing, and kind of obviously showed my sister, as you guys with your interview with her last time. Mm-hmm. She mentioned how they taught her how to swivel. We have a lot of ties back with Little Crow because my mom's from New London Spicer, so we'd go out there a lot in the summer times and do just a show or two with them throughout the summer. So, and then I got my upbringing through the Otters, actually. So I skied there for, I think it was 11 or 12 years. Then I skied for Little Crow for 2.5, and then now been with the Rats for 11-ish, I think, since 2013, 14, something like that. So
Great to see the Otters at Nationals, huh?
yeah, it was. They've been itching to get back. I know that.
Yeah.
And that was actually nice to see. They put on a pretty decent performance too.
They did. They did.
So
Great to see.
I know they've got a lot of young talent. That'll be nice to see Danny and Melissa groom and get back into the Nationals running again.
Well, exactly. Well, I mean, Kevin, we just want to thank you for being on the show. We want to say congratulations to you. It's an honor that you're never going to forget. You are in this fraternity of Skip Gilkerson Award winners now forever, and you're a part of that group. And congratulations to you on that award and a phenomenal season.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
We'll
you have to
catch
go.
up
So
again soon.
you're gonna have to go up on stage every year now as a past Skip winner, and you have to remember the year that you won it. So I don't know, maybe
Well,
get
for the
tattooed
next
on your
couple
arm or
years, that'll
something.
be pretty easy. But going down the road, I might not be able to say that.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, thanks, Kevin. Have a good night. We'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, we'll
Thanks,
see
Kevin.
you guys at the next ski tournament.
That's right.
Sounds good.
See ya.
All right, Adam. Pretty cool stuff. Talking to Skip and Willa winners and recapping our tournament season. Another season in the books.
Yeah, great to catch up with Kailey and Kevin. And man, proof is in the pudding. That's just hard work, right? You're skiing 9 to 10 acts in a show at a high level. Like, yeah, that's a year-long commitment. To be at that level and then to be able to do it consistently throughout the season. And, like Kailey said, skiing four acts in a row. Like,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and it's there's discussion every year. I get this question from people about Skip and Willa. Like, is it the best skier? Is it an MVP award? Is it the most valuable skier? And I don't know that there's any clear-cut criteria, but to your point, you know a standout in their show when you see it. If someone is continuously on the water and on stage and they're everywhere running from act to act, that's a tall task. No matter what individual disciplines they're doing or individual skills they're performing, being in that many acts on a top 6 show, top 5 show for these two, like that's amazing stuff.
Yeah, congratulations to both of them. Congratulations to everybody that competed, both D2, D1 Nationals. And just want to make a little plug here. While it's still fresh, I mean, coming off of Nationals for a lot of these teams, Matt, you talked about it, you kind of go into this fall-type depression, right, missing ski team. Well, you know what? You need to fill that void by getting ready for next season while things are still fresh. Like, hey, what could we have done better at Nationals? It's still fresh in your mind. Start getting this stuff down on paper and start, get a jump start on. Don't wait until dead of winter. I mean, it's fresh now.
Start your goals, like as an individual skier. Start getting after your goals now. And that's actually one of the things that I think helped us going into this year was last year our team skied hard from Nationals all the way into mid to late September. Like, I think I mentioned this on a previous show. Like when I'm show director, I typically like Labor Day, we're done. We shut it down. And a week later we pull out the jump. And that wasn't the case. And this young, hungry group we have skied their butts off into late September, like team practices, organizing jump practices and around the boat practices and swivel practices. And they're getting after it. And they're all shooting for their goals. Their 2025 goals are starting now. And it's a fun time of year for that. So, yeah, you're exactly right, Adam. Get after it, people. Enjoy this time of year. Do things that you haven't had a chance to work on. Try new things in your show. Start prepping your show for next year. Adam and I are talking about next year's show already and getting plans underway.
Big thanks to our sponsor for this episode, Flyman Skis. Great featherboard swivel skis. They've got their own design. You can customize your own great ski to learn on new stuff or, like we said, polish up the old stuff. Check it out at flymanskis.com.
Couple last items. I mentioned at the outset our awards nominations are happening. The awards committee is talking about nominees for each of these categories, 32 categories. If you want someone nominated, hit us up, fill out the form, send in video. The committee's working on it. It's going to be awesome. We're so excited every fall when we release the top 5 nominees in each category. It's a super celebration of our sport, so we're really looking forward to that. Team USA has got a couple of golf outings this fall. We'd love for you to hit up one of those and support Team USA. One is in the north in the Elkhorn, Wisconsin area. One is in the Winter Haven area. Both are fundraisers for Team USA as we try to raise money to send this team to Australia. We just got airline tickets booked at them, and that cost a pretty penny. So,
yep, I'm sure a lot of Team USA members will be be there golfing at these golf outings, and they are amazing skiers. They are not amazing golfers.
No, they are not. So if you wanna be just like a Team USA member, get on the golf course. It'll be fun.
All right. Thanks again to all of our listeners. This is Matt and Adam, and this is The Ski Show.
Thank you for listening to The Ski Show, the ultimate show ski podcast with Matt and Adam. If you have questions or ideas for the show, find us on social media or message us at theskishowpodcast@gmail.com.